What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome to my unit review series. In this series I review new units which are released in the game and tell you how good they are. In the last episode I covered Bunny Camilla, so if you are interested in that, you can check it out, and today I'm going to be reviewing Navarre, the 5th Grand Hero battle unit in the game. So in this video I'll be telling you how good Navarre is, and if you decide to use him, I'll also tell you how easy or hard it is to level him up to level 40. We will also be taking a look at his best skill inheritance options, which will help him greatly improve. Then I'll be also telling you some of the teammates who can support Navarre and some counters to him that you should watch out for. So Navarre is usually going to be compared to Karel, who has got very similar stats like him, and actually Karel has got better HP, attack and defense, while Navarre has more speed and resistance. However, a plus speed Karel will have more speed than a neutral IV Navarre, and if you didn't already know, all of the units that we get from these Grand Hero battles always have neutral IVs in all stats. He has got a rating of 168, which is 2 points lower compared to Karel's, and his raw rating is 157. I mentioned raw rating because this is the rating which is going to be used in the arena update which comes out this month. We will be looking at his 5-star stats because it's much fair when judging a unit. So his HP stat is pretty decent and definitely allows him to take a couple of hits, and his attack stat is somewhat low for a sword unit. This does lower his damage output. If he had slightly better attack, he could have been a much better unit, but I guess you could certainly help him improve his damage output with skill inheritance mechanic and hone attack support from a teammate. His speed is amazing and allows him to double a lot of the units in the metagame, and this is Navarre's saving grace, because if Navarre was slow with his somewhat low attack stat, it would be very hard for him to be usable. So thankfully his speed is amazing, his defense is alright, it's 2 points lower compared to Karel's, and this allows him to take hits, and with his HP and defense stat he can even survive a Fury Ephraim's fatal attack. So needless to say, he can easily take one hit even when he has the weapons triangle disadvantage against other lancers like Sharina and Azura. His resistance stat is average as well, and with this resistance stat, he can even take an attack coming from a life and death Lind, which just shows you that he can easily take hits from most mages in the game when he has neutral matchup against them or when he has the weapons triangle advantage over them. His speed definitely helps him taking hits because he does not get doubled by too many units. His 5-star weapon is Killing Edge Plus, which reduces his special trigger cooldown by 1, and this allows him to abuse various specials. His default special is Blazing Wind, and I do not know what's with Intelligent Systems' obsession with giving Grand Hero battle units skills like these, but compared to other Grand Hero battle units like Ursula and Michalis, Navarre can definitely make most use out of this skill, as his Killing Edge Plus lowers the cooldown to 4, and he is faster compared to Ursula and Michalis, so he can make follow-up attacks more often and charge this special faster. However, there are definitely better specials to be abused with his Killing Edge Plus in my opinion, which we will be discussing in the skill inheritance options for him. Moving on to his passives, his slot B passive skill is Desperation, which is perfect for a naturally fast unit like Navarre. It's an amazing skill for him and makes him viable right out of the box without skill inheritance mechanic. His slot C passive skill is Threaten Speed, which has amazing synergy with Desperation as it allows him to double even more units after the debuff, so it's also another perfect skill for him. So overall I would say that Navarre is a pretty decent unit, and you will have to spend some time and resources to make him much better with skill inheritance mechanic. Even after the skill inheritance mechanic, it's really hard for him when there are a bunch of sword units like Ryoma, Lucina and Marth who give him run for his money, not only because they can run similar sets like him, but they all have higher attack compared to him and can actually one-round KO more units. And one-round KOing units in this heavily offense-oriented metagame is very important. Karel with same set and life and death gives him a tough competition and can win more matchups compared to Navarre, and I guess you could even say that plus speed Karel completely outclasses Navarre, as plus speed Karel is able to win more matchups and make it much harder for Navarre. But people who are passionate about Navarre will make him work at his maximum potential, so the decision is yours. If you already have 5-star units like Lucina, Marth, Karel and Ryoma, you will probably have a tough time putting Navarre on your team's red slot, because of the fact that it's hard to find his niche over other top tier sword units. The only thing he has got going for him over the other sword units is his speed, but if you are someone who has got very unlucky with your red summons, and if you literally do not have any good red units, Navarre can be really good free to play option in that regard. As for leveling him up, he's neither too easy nor too hard to level up because he doubles a lot of the units in the training tower but will sometimes miss out on the KO on them, so running Olivia is the best thing you can do to make it a bit faster for him to level up, because Navarre gets the Hone attack support and Olivia can dance and allow Navarre to finish off the weakened units which he left off. And having healers while training him up is also nice because Navarre's bulk is average and at times he can die to powerful hits coming from the units in the training tower who have randomized attack. Now let's move on to his skill inheritance options. For his Latte passive skill, the premium skill for him to run is Life and Death from a 5-star Minerva or Jafar. It helps him solve his relatively low damage output and improves his biggest strength even more, which is his speed, and now he can double even more units with this speed boost. Deathblow is also another option from a 4-star client and gives him 1 attack point more compared to Life and Death, and Deathblow preserves his bulk while improving his damage output, which is just amazing. And this is also a good option for him if he cannot sacrifice someone with Life and Death, but he won't be able to double as many units as he can with Life and Death's speed boost. And Fury from a 4-star Hinata is also another great option, which helps him a bit with his stats and helps him in reaching his Desperation skill range. Swift Sparrow is an honorable mention from a 5-star Bunny Camilla, but you're better off running Deathblow or Life and Death as both of those skills give him much higher damage output, and it's easier to get Deathblow from a 4-star client than sacrificing a 5-star limited edition unit. Please do not run Darting Blow on already fast unit like Navarre. Navarre does not require any more speed. Instead, what he requires is a way of improving his damage output. While building Navarre, you should focus more on patching up his weaknesses instead of making his strengths better. For his slot B passive skill, please do not touch Desperation. It's absolutely perfect skill for him and he can abuse it quite easily with his high speed. With Life and Death, he can double a lot of the units such as plus speed Marth, plus speed Takumi, and neutral speed Lucina and Ryoma, so this skill is just amazing for him. For his slot C passive skill, if you're running Life and Death on him, you should just run Threat and Defense from a 4-star parry instead of Threat and Speed, as it helps him with his damage output even more. Threat and Defense is excellent choice for this skill slot. For his special, he should have Luna from a 4-star Frederick or Ketria, because with Killing Edge, Luna becomes a 2-turn cooldown move and it helps him do more damage. So against a unit with 30 defense, he's gonna be getting additional 15 points of damage, which is really good. Moonbow from a 4-star Odin or Pala could also be run on him, as 1-turn cooldown special looks very tempting. However, Moonbow does not give him too much additional damage when he triggers it. What Navarre desperately needs is more damage output, so that's why Luna is perfect for him and that's what Luna gives him. So Luna, in my opinion, is better than Moonbow with this set. For his assist skill, you can give him Reciprocal Aid from a 4-star Donnell, 4-star Matthew, or a 4-star Setsuna, and this allows him to reach his Desperation range easily without engaging in any kind of combat. Now the last option is only for the true Navarre connoisseurs who really want to use Navarre. So from a 5-star Karel, you can give him Vodao Plus and his damage output becomes significantly better. And yes, Vodao Plus is inheritable by any sword units, so only do this if you have a Karel who has minus attack IV or minus speed IV and you're never gonna use him, or if you really want to use Navarre over Karel, you could easily sacrifice that Karel to Navarre. And with Vodao Plus, you should always run Moonbow, as Vodao Plus gives additional 10 damage when you trigger a special. So that's why we want to have the lowest cooldown special move so that he can do more damage often. With Vodao Plus, Navarre's matchup chart against the whole cast improves a lot, as you can see by the comparison on your screen right now. So these were his best skill inheritance options. Now let's move on to some of the teammates who can support him. A unit like Navarre loves having a buffer as his teammate to increase his damage output, so units with Hone attack skill like Nino and Sonaki help him greatly, and buffers like Ephraim and Erika also help him a lot. Speed boost from Erika's Hone speed helps him double pretty much the entire cast with Life and Death, and Ephraim in particular, after the skill inheritance mechanic, if he has inherited Hound Speed, becomes a really good teammate for Navarre. A dedicated blue unit check is recommended because Lance users stop Navarre right in his tracks, so if you want to use him, you should definitely run a blue unit check, and these days blue units are on the rise, so it is pretty good to run a green unit with Navarre, and units like Saizo, Felicia and Jafar who can soften up enemies are also good with him, as it helps Navarre pick off the weakened units thanks to the debuffs from their daggers and the passive damage from Saizo and Jafar. Now finally, let's take a look at his counters. They are pretty obvious, like Lance users are the biggest counters to Navarre, because no matter what set he can run, there's no way he can break through them, and brave weapon users like Reinhardt and Cordelia will always one round KO Navarre. So watch out for these units if you're going to be using Navarre, and that is pretty much going to conclude my review of Navarre. Please be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this, and share this video with your friends who were able to get Navarre from the Grand Hero Battle. Also, I'm curious in knowing your thoughts on Navarre, so let me know in the comment section down below. And with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.